Greetings, my fellow motor enthusiasts. We've got a real treat for you today as we dive into the remarkable career of Red Bull's Max Verstappen. After only 185 race weekends, this young titan has secured himself 3 world titles, 54 wins, 98 podium finishes, and 32 pole positions. Quite the impressive tally, isn't it? But let's put it in perspective. Compared to F1 legends like Michael Schumacher, who had 5 world titles, 67 wins, 118 podiums, and 54 pole positions at this point in his career. Or Lewis Hamilton, who had 3 world titles, 50 wins, 101 podiums, and 58 pole positions after the same number of race weekends. Verstappen's journey so far is nothing short of extraordinary, and it's fair to say we can expect even more from this young racing prodigy in the future. The race is on, my friends. Welcome, fellow petrolheads. You're tuned into the one and only F1 Motor Fever podcast with me, your host and resident expert, Enzo.
And once again, this is your co-pilot, William Turner, ready to delve into all things Formula One.
Make sure you're subscribed to our channel and have turned on those notifications so you won't miss a single update from us. Now, let's put the pedal to the metal, shall we? Taking a brief pit stop here, my friends, to acknowledge the source of this deep dive. Our information comes from a stellar article by Mike Seymour on the well-respected Formula One website. Have you chanced upon this site before?
Absolutely. It's a staple among us F1 enthusiasts, offers up-to-date and reliable information. But as with all things, a quick double-check never hurts.
Couldn't agree more. All right, back to the grid then. Let's delve a bit into the numbers, shall we? It looks like our young prodigy, Max Verstappen, has been redefining the record books. After just 185 race weekends, he's clutched his 3rd world title with a staggering 54 victories, 98 podium finishes, and 32 pole positions. Quite impressive, don't you agree?
I've always said it. The lad's a phenomenon. And let's not forget, he's only 26 years old. He has time on his side. And with the current team's dominance, his numbers will only go up from here.
Indeed, and while comparing different eras has its limitations, the numbers do speak for themselves. Just look at his win percentage. It's a stunning 29.1%. And his podium finishes, over half the time, at a whopping 52.9%. Let that sink in for a moment.
Truly remarkable, isn't it? And the pole positions, at over 17%. These statistics are a testament to his skill and consistency, not to mention his meteoric rise in the sport. Since his debut at 17, he's been on an unstoppable trajectory.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Let's see where this journey takes him. Full throttle, Max. To give some context, let's flip through the history pages to another titan of the track, Michael Schumacher. After 185 race weekends, Schumacher had 5 world titles, 67 wins, 118 podiums, and 54 pole positions. Quite the formidable stats, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, without a doubt. And let's not forget Sebastian Vettel. He had 4 world titles, 45 wins, 92 podiums, and 47 pole positions at the same stage. Quite the giants these lads had to contend with.
You know, I remember standing on the sidelines at the 2003 Monaco Grand Prix. I was in awe of Schumacher's dominance. Never thought I'd see such a force on the track. And yet here we are.
Oh, come on now. You were barely out of nappies then, weren't you?
I'll have you know, I was well into my journalism career by then.
Ah, my apologies. I didn't mean to rattle your gearbox. It's all in good fun.
No harm done. Let's shift gears back to the topic at hand, shall we? And then there's the living legend, Lewis Hamilton. After 185 race weekends, Hamilton was already a 3-time world champion, with 50 wins, 101 podiums, and a whopping 58 pole positions under his belt. Quite a feat, isn't it?
Definitely. And let's not forget Hamilton's strategic move to Mercedes. Even though the start was a bit shaky, their focus on the turbo hybrid era gave them an advantage over the field. A true masterstroke.
Indeed, it was a game changer. And it's worth mentioning that of all the drivers we've talked about, Hamilton has the highest percentage of pole positions at 31.3%.
Yes, Hamilton's prowess in securing those pole positions is unmatched. And remember, he's not finished yet.
Ah, yes, we are witnessing the making of legends in our time. It's an extraordinary era we're living in. A time of giants, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Can't argue with that.
Now, let's shift our gaze to Alain Prost. After 185 race weekends, Prost had 3 world titles to his name, 44 wins, 94 podiums, and 20 pole positions. Notably, he secured a 4th title after a switch to Williams. A real testament to his talent, wouldn't you agree?
Certainly. Prost's career was an intriguing journey, to say the least. His intense rivalry with Senna in the late 1980s at McLaren is still talked about today. He's a true F1 legend.
That's right. And another 3-time world champion, Nelson Piquet, had 20 wins, 54 podiums, and 24 pole positions under his belt after the same number of race weekends. His first championship came with the Ecclestone-run Brabham team, which was a formidable force in the early 80s.
Piquet's rise was indeed meteoric. And his fierce rivalry with Nigel Mansell at Williams is another classic F1 story. He had all but 3 of his 20 wins by the time he hit race 185 for Benetton in 1990.
Ah, yes. Those were some thrilling times in the sport. The rivalries, the drama, the sheer talent. It all makes for an unforgettable era in F1 history. Let's not forget about the legendary Juan Manuel Fangio. During his time in F1, he managed to claim 5 world titles with several teams. Remarkably, Fangio won almost half of the Grand Prix he entered, which is a record that may stand untouched for a long time. You know, there's a rumor that Fangio had a sixth sense when it came to choosing the right team and car.
That's one way to explain his uncanny knack for picking winners. But remember, speculation can be fun, but it's not always factual.
You're right, it's all in good jest. Moving on, Jack Brabham's story is quite unique. He won his 3rd title with his own eponymous team, making F1 history. Despite a lower victory percentage compared to some, his strategic wins during the 1960 and 1966 seasons secured 2 of his 3 titles.
It's quite a feat to have won a world title in a car carrying one's own name. His accomplishments are testament to his skill and determination.
Now let's talk about another Scottish legend, Jackie Stewart. Debuting in F1 with BRM in the mid-1960s, he made an impressive 8 podiums in his first 12 races. A move to Matra and Tyrrell later took his career to new heights. Stewart claimed 3 world titles and set a then record of 27 wins. A potent combination indeed.
Indeed, Stewart's career was extraordinary. He retired ahead of what would have been his 100th race, following his teammate Francois Severt's tragic accident. Ah, the perils of the sport.
Moving on, Niki Lauda started his F1 career in uncompetitive and unreliable machinery, yet he went on to become a race winner and world champion with Ferrari. He returned stronger after a fiery crash to secure a 2nd crown. A story of resilience, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Lauda was a symbol of determination and courage in F1. He would later return to the sport with McLaren, securing his 3rd title in 1984.
Wow. I can't help but think how amazing the world of Formula One is. Such emotions, such competitiveness, such adrenaline. It's quite something, isn't it? What do you reckon, my lovely audience? Are you enjoying the content? Don't forget to hit the like button, all right? I'm absolutely loving these updates, and I hope you are too. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. Let's carry on. Right, for those who've just tuned in, we've been delving into the legendary careers of some of Formula One's most renowned drivers. We've talked about the likes of Juan Manuel Fangio, who held almost half of the Grand Prix wins during his tenure, Jack Brabham, who made history with a world title in a car bearing his own name, and the Flying Scot, Jackie Stewart, whose career reached new heights with a move to Matra and Tyrrell. We also touched on the resilience of Niki Lauda, who, despite a fiery crash, came back stronger to secure his 2nd crown. Quite a journey through history, wouldn't you say?
I couldn't agree more. It's been a trip down memory lane. It's astounding to realize the depth of talent and courage these drivers possessed.
Absolutely. It goes to show that Formula One is not just about speed, it's also about strategy, resilience, and an unyielding spirit. But what are your thoughts, dear listener? Who among these legends resonates with you the most? Please do let us know as we continue our journey through the annals of Formula One history. Now, let's press on. Now let's discuss the career of Ayrton Senna. His move to McLaren in 1988 saw him beat teammate Prost in their first season together. After a controversial showdown in 1990, Senna secured a third and final title the following year. However, his hopes of adding more titles ended tragically when he suffered fatal injuries in a crash during the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix.
Yes, such a tragedy. Senna was an incredible driver. I heard a rumor that Senna had actually planned to retire after that season, and he was going to start a music career. Apparently, he was a talented pianist.
Hold on there. We need to be very careful spreading unconfirmed rumors. We owe it to our listeners to provide only verified information. I encourage everyone to check the official Formula One website or Bandeirantes, the official F1 broadcaster in Brazil, for reliable sources of information.
You're right. I do apologize. I should have verified that information before sharing it. I promise to be more cautious in the future.
That's all right. Such rumors often spread in the world of sports. It's crucial to ensure that the information we share is accurate. Now let's continue with our discussion. We now turn our attention to the race win percentages. When it comes to pure speed and talent, these numbers paint a fascinating picture. At the top of the list, we have Juan Manuel Fangio with 47%, followed by Alberto Ascari with 40.6%, and Jim Clark with 34.7%. Lewis Hamilton sits in the fourth position with 31%, closely followed by Michael Schumacher with 29.6%.
It's fascinating to see how these percentages really shed light on the drivers' performances over their careers. It's not just about the number of wins, but the rate at which they achieved them.
Absolutely. Just look at Max Verstappen with 29.1%, sitting comfortably among the greats. And let's not forget the likes of Jackie Stewart, Alain Prost, and Ayrton Senna, all with percentages over 25%. I've got a mate who's a massive Senna fan. He would be absolutely chuffed to hear that Senna is still holding strong in the rankings.
It's indeed a testament to the lasting legacy of these iconic drivers.
Yes, and as we move further down the list, we see drivers like Damon Hill, Sebastian Vettel, Nigel Mansell, and even Mika Hakkinen, all of whom have left indelible marks on the sport. Let's continue with our in-depth look at these figures. As we near the end of our list of all-time race winner percentages, we see Nico Rosberg with 11.1%, James Hunt with 10.8%, and Alan Jones with 10.3%. All remarkable drivers in their own right.
Indeed, and not to forget Ludovico Scarfiotti and Jochen Rindt, both holding at 10%. These figures really bring out the diversity and intensity of the competition in Formula One.
Yes, indeed. It's fascinating to see how close these percentages are. It's a testament to the razor-thin margins that separate victory from defeat in this sport. The difference between becoming a legend and just another contender can often come down to a fraction of a second.
True. It not only speaks volumes about the drivers, but also the teams, the engineers, everyone who has a role in making a Formula One car what it is. It's a combined effort, after all.
Absolutely. With that, we've covered quite a lot in today's episode, and there's still so much more to chat about. But let's save some for another day, shall we? William, have you scoured the internet today? Anything interesting our listeners should know about?
Absolutely, Enzo. There is an intriguing discussion going on in an online forum. A user named Benji Bunny is asking, quote, "What was the worst team or driver decision ever?" He kick-started the thread by mentioning the time when Adrian Newey requested equity at Williams between 1994 and 96, and Frank Williams and Patrick Head told him no. He ponders what could have been the outcome if Newey was a team owner at Williams across all those years. Unquote.
That's a debate that could stir up a hornet's nest.
Indeed, responding to Benji Bunny, someone named Fordern997 lists out a few notable decisions in F1 history, such as Toyota pulling out in 2009, Lola succumbing to MasterCard pressure and joining the 1997 grid unprepared, and Williams disputing with BMW despite having the best engine in F1.
That's quite a list, isn't it?
It doesn't end there, Enzo Watts. A user, Charlie RC, recalls the decision of sacking Damon Hill midway through 1996 when he was on course to be world champion. He still finds it to be a puzzling decision.
Oh, the controversies of Formula One never cease to amaze. Thanks for that, William. It's always fun to look at the different perspectives of fans.
Absolutely, Enzo. It offers a great reminder about the complex dynamics that exist off the track in this enthralling sport.
That's it for today's episode of F1 Motor Fever Podcast. We've taken a deep dive into the fascinating world of Formula One, discussing everything from race strategies to historical rivalries. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. If you haven't already, do subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. And remember to share, comment, and engage with us on our channels. Your support really does mean the world to us.
Absolutely. And remember, we're on air every day, so there's plenty more where this came from. So, whether you're an old hand at Formula One or a newbie, there's something for everyone here at F1 Motor Fever Podcast. And who knows, you might even win the next pub quiz with all the trivia we're doling out.
We're so grateful for your support, and we're already looking forward to our next episode. But until then,
pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold. Cheerio, everyone.